In my last video, I talked about how I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease at 15. What I didn't talk about was what happened after, because the diagnosis isn't the end of the story. In a lot of ways, it's the beginning of a completely different life. One of the strangest emotions I felt after being diagnosed was relief. Not because I was happy to have Crohn's, obviously not, but because I finally had proof of my symptoms and that I wasn't imagining things. I wasn't weak or dramatic, and I wasn't exaggerating. There was now a name for what I was experiencing, and that validation mattered more than I realised at the time. But once the relief faded, the fear arrived. I started wondering things like, is this forever? And am I ever going to feel normal again? What does it mean for me, for my school life, my work, my future? What's this going to mean? Because no one really sits you down and explains what life actually looks like with Crohn's. I mean, you get some information, but not real life experience and not reassurance. After diagnosis, I noticed something changing quietly in the background. I stopped thinking of myself as just a teenager and started thinking of myself as someone with a condition. And suddenly, every decision had a sort of calculation attached to it. Can I go out today? Is there a toilet where I'm going? Will I actually have the energy? What's going to happen if I need to leave? That mental load is something people don't talk about enough. One of the hardest parts was how isolating it felt, even when I wasn't alone. My friends carried on as normal, school life carried on as normal, just life around me in general just carried on, and I felt like I was just watching from the side. Not because people didn't care, but mostly because they didn't understand. And honestly, at that point, I didn't understand it myself. But over time, I started learning something important. My body wasn't actually my enemy. It was communicating to me. Pain meant slow down. Fatigue meant rest. And cancelling plans meant protecting myself. That actually took a long time to accept, especially when the world around us rewards deeply pushed me. If I can actually go back and tell my younger self anything, it is, you are allowed to grieve the life you thought you would have, and you are allowed to change, and you are allowed to take up space, even on days when all you can do is just survive. If you've been diagnosed recently, or if you're still trying to make sense of it all, I want you to know you're not behind, you're not failing, and you're definitely not alone. This is a hard thing to live with, and it's okay to admit that. This channel is a space where I talk honestly about life with Crohn's without pretending that it's inspirational. If this video has resonated with you or someone you know, then you're always all welcome.